Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are here. Welcome back. It's the Hat Trick Podcast. After a week away where I decided to go on holiday because I needed it, we're back. Manchester City and Liverpool both won. Huddersfield are finally relegated with Fulham possibly going tonight. Dortmund go back on top and Scott Brown is a wind-up merchant. News, headlines, that is something we all knew. But obviously it's not just me, otherwise that would be really boring. To make it a hat trick, I have to introduce the other two gentlemen that are with me. We go to Mr. Adam Swindles.
Hi, afternoon.
And Mr. Tom Rogers.
You alright, mate?
Everything's going alright. A little bit of housekeeping this evening for everybody today, just while we deal with everything. This is not the last podcast of the season, because obviously there's loads of the season left, but it is the second last one for us, and it is a goodbye for the season from Mr. Adam Swindles, because he is not going to be here next week when we do another podcast. Are you, Mr. Adam Swindles?
No, I'm away.
He's away. So it's just going to be me and Tom Rogers. We are going to have two special guests because we need two people to replace Adam because of his League 2 knowledge is monstrously quality.
We have to do a bit more research on it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll get Tom Scott to do it because he works for the national paper now. Works for the National League, so we'll get him to do it because he's a National League and it's pretty much the same level and all that lot, isn't it? There will be 2 episodes this week. That's right, you heard me. 2 episodes this week of the Hat Trick Podcast, which is just fabulous. Everybody all wants 2 episodes this week. The second one will be probably going up on Thursday or whenever Adam decides to upload it. Isn't that right, Adam? Thursday?
I could probably do Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday sounds like a good idea. Should we get into it then? And to start with, we'll obviously start with the Premier League because there was a Premier League game this week, which is all great and fabulous and brilliant. And we'll start with Liverpool Spurs. The Sunday afternoon kickoff at 4 o'clock. Liverpool won 2-1 with a last-minute Toby Alderweireld own goal, although Mohamed Salah has done a Harry Kane and claimed it. When it definitely wasn't, was it, boys? It was an own goal.
It was an own goal.
100% an own goal. So, yeah. I don't know what to say anymore because I don't know whether it was Liverpool are good or Spurs are just terrible, Adam.
It was a bit of both, I feel. The game, it was end-to-end, I feel, but it wasn't a great quality game. Liverpool coming out first, getting the goal. It was the first shot on target, I believe.
Yes, it was.
You can see the difference in quality between them and Man City when you watch the Man City-Fulham game the other day. It's just, if Liverpool can keep dragging out wins like they're doing at the minute, then they'll obviously be up there, but definitely the team that deserves it, or the team that's stronger, is Man City for the title.
Right, that would be your opinion, Adam. A couple of people would obviously disagree. Tom, what's going on with Spurs?
I don't know, it's the same thing every season around the same time, isn't it? They just fall away and they are looking in real danger of falling out of the top 4 altogether. I mean, there's 4 teams around there now for going for 3rd and 4th. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's up with them because they've got great players. Harry Kane, Eriksen, but I don't know.
1 point out of their last 4. Obviously, they got beat by Burnley 2-1. They drew 1-0 with Arsenal. They got beat by Southampton, and now they've got beat by Liverpool as well. So, and the Chelsea game as well. I forgot about the Chelsea result as well. They lost 2-0 to Chelsea as well. So, not good times. They are in danger of falling out of the top 4, as you've said. Yeah, they're joint on points with Man United now, who are 5th. Arsenal are 2 points ahead of them. We'll get onto Arsenal later on, and Chelsea are 1 point behind them. So it's ridiculously tight, and they only have themselves to blame. Is that right, fellas?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. But they need a couple of midfielders. That's the problem at the minute. They haven't got any leadership in that midfield area. Like Dembele's gone.
Yeah,
Dembele was brilliant for them. Mm-hmm. He was awesome.
Eric Dyer's been injured most of the season.
Eric Dyer's been injured as well. So they've been playing Moussa Sissoko, Harry Winks.
Yeah.
So I don't think that midfield 2 is not good enough if you want to go challenge for the top 2.
And especially showing the finishing capabilities. Sissoko, that chance.
Oh my God.
He's 2-on-1 with Son against Van Dijk, and he goes for it on his own and his left foot, and what a chance that was.
The Liverpool fans claiming that was all down to Van Dijk. Sissoko could have been against anyone. He did on the same thing.
Yeah, it absolutely, he would have done. He'd have completely done. I know Sissoko a little bit from his Newcastle United days, obviously. one of the best bits of business we've ever done is selling him for £30 million. He's not a £30 million player. I don't think he's a top 6 midfielder in the Premier League. He's a beast, and when he gets running, you can't stop him. But there's a lot of players like that in the Premier League now. I don't think he's any specialty of anything in any league.
He's a knockoff Yaya Toure.
But Yaya Toure could finish.
That's what I'm saying.
Musa
He's
Sissoko.
a knockoff version.
Yeah, but even a knockoff Yaya Toure would be able to finish.
I don't know
Musa
when the last time he
Sissoko
scored
can't.
was.
I don't know what even he does. Right, that's enough complaining about Spurs because we could go on about that all day. Liverpool let goal again. They've done bits again and again and again. Mohamed Salah was missing from action again. He wasn't very good.
He was really poor.
Very poor.
He's been poor for about 4 weeks now. He's not longer.
Blanks now. Like the amount of games he hasn't scored in, because we're not counting that one. He's definitely going to go. Is it like 5 or 6 now?
6 games now.
6 games
now without a score, and obviously this was one of the best players in the world last year. Completely fallen off the pace and everything like that. Do we class him as a one-season wonder right now or not?
Well, I don't think he is, because he's near the 20 goal mark now as well.
Yeah, he's
near the 20 goal mark.
On 17 goals.
He's got something like 8 or 9 assists as well.
Yeah.
So he's not a poor season. It's just not being astronomical like last season.
Well, imagine if he'd scored 3 goals from where he is now. He'd be top goal scorer.
Exactly.
But he's not at the moment because Aguero's on fire.
It's just because of how he was last season. He was that high. No one expected him to be, and then he's had a decent season this time, but he's just not been as high. So people.
It was never going to accumulate that level.
It was a freak season for him.
Yeah. But anyway, Bobby Firmino came up with the goals, and Sadio Mane copied the celebration again. I love Sadio Mane so much.
Great ball in from Robertson for that goal.
Yeah,
as well.
and Andrew Robertson's the best left back in Europe at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Arguably the world.
Yeah, got to be.
He's really up there. He really. Say you got him for what, 5-6 million?
8 million quid.
8 million quid.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's an absolute bargain.
That is an absolute bargain, and especially since Leicester have slapped a £60 million fee on Ben Chilwell.
So what's Robertson, 100 million?
Yeah, there you go. He could go for the most expensive if anyone wants to even swoop in from. I don't think Liverpool would let him go. Liverpool go back to the top of the table then after Man City just sweep past Fulham, who they weren't great. Adam or Tom, either of you, whoever wants it, they weren't great, were they?
But both goals were avoidable from Fulham's point of view. They gave the ball to Man City for both goals.
Yeah.
Trying to play it out from the back, make stupid mistakes, give Man City the ball, and they scored. They didn't really have to make Man City work. Although Man City had the ball, they played it how they normally do, just dominated the play. But then the goals they scored weren't from their brilliance. It was more of Fulham mistakes. Poor football.
They smothered them in a sense, really, didn't they, Tom?
Yeah, they always smother teams, don't they? Though.
Yeah, but with it though, normally you see an end product. Like with you smothering, you see an end product. Whereas I think Fulham were quite resolute with the fact that they didn't, apart from obviously the 2 mistakes there. Obviously they had nothing going forward because they didn't have Mitrovic, and Ryan Babel isn't a striker. So I don't know. Fulham are definitely down. As I said in the introduction, they can be relegated as early as tonight if other results don't go their way this evening.
Because they are down, so it's Parker's trying to get across his own type of football. So obviously, playing out from the back, you're going to you're going to have mistakes against the likes of Man City pressing you really high up. But Parker's probably preparing for next season and just trying to get across what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one because they know they're gone. They knew they were probably gone Christmas time.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought about this and everything. Manchester City, their brilliance in London keeps going. They've only lost once in their last 10 trips to London, which is an outstanding stat if you think about it. And you think about all the top 6 sides that are in London. Yeah, 3 of them. I think it's mad. Who wins the title, lads? Are we changing, flip-flopping? Because I've said City all season.
City still.
I've said Liverpool all season. But
you have said Liverpool all season.
I'm starting to change my mind now.
You are. What's making you start to change your mind, Adam?
Definitely this weekend. Just the performance that Liverpool put out and a performance that Man City put out. Just the two varying performances.
They were the opposite spectrum.
Yeah,
for me.
even though obviously one's played a weaker team compared to the other.
Yeah.
There just wasn't the same amount of quality in the players, I feel.
Okay.
There'll be one team to stop Man City, and that'll be Man United.
That's the only game I can see Man City losing, or possibly losing. All the others.
Slipping up at.
Yeah.
I think if United beat City, it's probably going to be Liverpool's. Myself. But I think I can see City just winning the rest of their games.
Okay. We'll wait and see. Let's go to the most controversial game of the weekend. We'll head to Wales and we'll talk Cardiff-Chelsea. Oh, God. Cardiff, obviously, they lost 2-1 due to 2 late goals from Chelsea. Victor Camarasa scored for Cardiff. And to be honest with you, gentlemen, Cardiff deserved this game.
Cardiff were really good.
They were very, very good. They were very, very good.
It's probably the best I've seen them all season.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, Tom. I really would. But, like, the starting 11 that Chelsea put out, I'll just read it for you now. If you have this team out, you are vulnerable. If you have Alonso, Luiz, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, obviously Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal, Kovacic, Jorginho, Barkley, Willian, Higuain and Pedro, you look at that team and you go, where's Hazard? Where's Callum?
I definitely did.
Where's Kante?
Where's Kante? What?
The thing is,
let's get a result here.
And he blamed it on internationals after the game, didn't
Because
he?
I looked at the team, I was like, okay, maybe they've got a couple games coming up. They haven't. They've got the likes of West Ham at home coming up, I believe. That's not a difficult game. It shouldn't be a difficult game for Chelsea. They'll make it difficult if he puts that side out.
Yep, absolutely.
But I don't understand. It's just like he's trying to get sacked.
Yeah.
It's like he's doing a Mourinho third season.
Yeah, with this as well, when he brought on his substitutes, the 3 substitutes weren't exactly game-changing substitutes, in my opinion. The only one you could say was Pedro for Hazard. Ruben Loftus-Cheek for Jorginho is not going to change a game, is it? Or Olivier Giroud for Higuain isn't going to change a game, is it? No offence to Chelsea fans or to any of them 3 players I've just mentioned.
Saying that though, Loftus-Cheek did score the winner.
Yeah, but
like in the whole grand scheme of things, they're not. I know what you're saying. I know they aren't game changing. It shouldn't be a game changer.
And it shouldn't right. Okay, we'll address the elephant in the room. Cesar Azpilicueta was miles offside.
Yes,
he was at least 5 yards offside, and it shouldn't have been a goal. And the officiator, the linesman was on his side. He wasn't on the far side.
No, yeah, you could see it directly.
Was on his side and did not flag.
To be fair, they had a look on Monday Night Football. I was watching last night. They did a virtual reality thing. And Willian was right in front of the linesman. Yeah, but
that's the linesman's fault. He should be in a better position.
No, I don't think so.
He should be in a better position. If you have a player blocking your view of that line, you get ahead of it.
Yeah, no, but you can't.
That's the basic rule.
But it's like a millisecond, so he doesn't have that time. As soon as the ball is played, he's ahead, so he can't move because he's too late.
So it was Willian directly in line with Azpilicueta.
As he's took the corner, he's played it short, and then Willian's obviously walked that way. And obviously as the ball's kicked, so he can't move to see because the ball's already been kicked.
But surely then you can see Azpilicueta's offside, because if Willian's in an offside position...
No, Willian stood right in front of him. That microphone, for a microphone in front of you, that's how Willian is stood in front of the linesman.
Okay.
So the linesman is in line with the play, or thinks he's in line with the play, but cannot see any advancement because of Willian.
What he couldn't see was the flick on from Alonso. Obviously when the ball is played, everyone's on side. It's when Alonso flicks it on.
Okay, I get it now.
And then,
there you go.
So obviously he still thinks when the ball's been headed in, he's thinking it's come from the original cross instead of the flick on.
And this is why we need VAR.
But then the referee, even ignore VAR for a minute, the referee should have been able to see and go, oh, there was a flick on there, did you notice that? And then when they have a chat and do that lot, then he goes, oh, well, that's offside then. But they haven't done. So, yeah, VAR is coming in next season. This is the first game out of about 2 or 3 that could have had decisions that would have changed the games. This definitely would have changed it. It would have knocked all the wind out of Chelsea's sails, and Cardiff would have got a point.
Yeah, I think Cardiff would have won the game.
Yeah, I think Cardiff would have got the point.
The other decision with Rudiger, I think that's a red card.
I mean,
I thought it was a red. We had a man sent off in the game.
He's last man.
The same situation.
He's gonna even if he touches the ball past Kepa's gonna wipe him out.
Yeah.
So It's a red card for me.
And it was outside the box, so there's no double jeopardy
exactly.
thing. There's no double jeopardy, so it should have been red. Did you all see Neil Warnock stare at the linesman and everything like that? That was hilarious.
He walked straight past him, didn't
That was
he, as well?
absolutely hilarious. And then when he shook hands with Sarri, he went mental at Sarri.
I know, he saw it.
That was he's brilliant.
And he went mad at David Luiz.
Yeah. Did you see his pre-match press conference? And when they said, "Oh, we've got to regroup for the Man City game," did you see what he said? He said, "Nah, I don't think any of the players will play. I might just play the under 23s and make them keep it under 10-0." That's Neil Warnock for you. Cardiff, unfortunately, with that result now, they're 5 points from safety. With
game in hand, but it doesn't really change. But you'd rather have the points than the game.
Well, the game in hand, I think the game in hand is against Palace. Or is it against Watford?
Well, both either at home.
Yes.
If it's at home, then they've got a good chance.
Oh no, sorry, their game in hand. Their game in hand's against City.
Oh, okay. City have got a game in hand, and their game in hand is
their game in hand's tomorrow
at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's gonna be 4 or 5-0, isn't it?
Yeah. Which is why Cardiff Neil Warnock's gone. All right, yeah, we'll just put the reserves up. Outside it, who cares? I think he's trying to not accept the fact that he might be down, but I think Cardiff are down now. I think it'll stay exactly the same. Lads, you agree?
Yeah,
I
think the officials have relegated Cardiff here.
Yeah. And Neil Warnock will be fuming for a long time. Right, we'll go back to the top 4 race and speak about the last 2 clubs that even care about it. Man United, Watford. God, Man United. Manchester United won, obviously. They won 2-1. Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial getting on the score sheet. And Doucouré cementing the fact that he's had a really good season for Watford. He has had a very good season for Watford. He was massively linked to PSG this year in January and in the summer. And in summer, you can see why. I don't think that move will go through because obviously of this is Man United news. The Ander Herrera deal has gone through. He's going there on a free transfer with possibly looking like £120,000 a week.
120k a week.
Yeah.
He wanted 200k at Man United.
Would you rather play for a title-winning Champions League team or Man United?
Man United.
I would as well. I wouldn't leave for PSG, but that's me. His circumstances could be different because he's not exactly starting, is he? He's not starting
not week in, week out.
He would at PSG.
Yeah, PSG need a destroyer. So.
We'll talk about PSG later, especially since Andre Rabiot put his toes down. Talk about PSG later. Man United were far from convincing. Watford dominated the game and the ball. And I don't know, two moments of brilliance, fellas, or
two counter-attacks, really, yeah. That's why they scored the goals.
Played them up front, didn't they? Played Rashford and Martial up front. Yeah. Just pace.
Yeah.
Although the goal of the game was the Watford goal. The pass and move for the Doucouré finish, first touch.
Actually, I don't know. The Rashford goal was pretty good.
Nah.
I enjoy counter-attack.
Goal.
The Watford goal was brilliant.
I enjoy counter-attack as well.
Watford goal was very good, but like the Marcus Rashford, just pure pace, because that's all it was. It was just showing off his absolute pace. We've had a couple of Young Player of the Year disputes this season on this podcast. My pick for Young Player of the Year did very well in Bernardo Silva for Manchester City getting on the score sheet, and Alan's pick for Young Player of the Year has got on the score sheet as well in Anthony Martial. He won't win it though. Will he?
And I've gone for Rashford, so.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I'm probably leaning towards Rashford now. He'll probably get it.
I think he will get it. I don't think he should.
But do you think he should get it?
I think
you still think Bernardo?
I think either Bernardo or David Brooks. Still one of the two.
Nah, I think.
Is Brooks injured now?
He was injured. He's back now.
I don't know. That's with Rashford. I'm still sticking with Rashford.
And then, okay, that's fine. Do you think they'll get it? They'll get fourth. Will Man United get top four? Yeah. And Spurs slip out.
I think Spurs will fall out.
Arsenal slip out.
I'll go Man United third, Arsenal fourth.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go the same actually.
Okay. Speaking of Arsenal, they played the Monday night game last night against Newcastle. My team, they won 2-0. Should have been 4. It wasn't a 4-0 performance, Adam. It was a 2-0 performance. Arsenal played very poor, but it was the fact that Newcastle were just terrible.
Yeah, nothing going forward at all for Newcastle.
Absolutely nothing.
Rafa had that conversation earlier after the game. He said, we've been trying to play more positive football, but the final third has just been breaking down the entire season. That's the story of the season.
That is, 100%.
So it's pretty easy game for Arsenal. It was just trying to break them down was the only problem, and they able to do that twice. Yeah,
Arsenal had 2 goals disallowed and 1 cleared off their line. They had one in the first half before Aaron Ramsey scored the first one, with Aaron Ramsey there because Socrates pulled Lejeune down in the box, and the referee, who had a very patchy game, it wasn't a good game from him. Anthony Taylor, he gave the free kick against Arsenal, and obviously Ramsey's goal was chalked off.
They did the virtual reality for that as well. He was completely blindsided.
Yeah,
so the linesman must have given that. He didn't,
but the linesman didn't flag. So I don't understand. I can assume he anticipated the play because he knew that Lejeune was there, and then when Lejeune fell over and the ball was there, he must have been impeded. So it's a free kick. It was a good decision. Obviously, when the virtual reality showed it, he didn't say a thing. So I was like, "What's going on?"
He's just guessing.
Yeah, he's just guessing. And then obviously Aaron Ramsey scored with a neat little 1-2-3 with him, Iwobi, and Ozil. Perfect Arsenal football, doing tiki-taka stuff, and a brilliant finish. It was a very good finish.
Nice.
Very, very good finish in the bottom corner, out of the Bradford's reach. Makes it 1-0. Then Lacazette is just being Lacazette and annoying and stuff like that. He tries and does a curler, and Matt Ritchie somehow clears it off the line. How did he clear that off the line? I have no idea. It was mad.
I don't trust Dubravka here. I'm just going to stand on the line.
It's absolute mad, and it hit him square on the head, and it looped up and looked like it had gone in the roof of the net because it looped back down, and it hadn't. It had just gone over. And it was completely crazy. It was like, how did he even save that? And then obviously we go into half time there. Second half, Lacazette also got a goal disallowed for impeding Dubravka. He didn't do anything.
No, I think he gave it a handball. He said he went like this, like.
Wasn't I didn't think it was a handball.
No, it wasn't a handball. Dubravka handled it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a free kick or anything. I thought Arsenal were hard done by, but they got the win. They went above. We were poor. We had pass completion of 56%.
Oh god.
When you have a pass completion of 56% in a game of football, that's terrible.
That is awful.
That's not good at all. And then it's not like long balls or anything like that, Tom. It was 5-yard passes that weren't completing.
Back to them out of play.
Yeah, it wasn't doing absolutely anything. It was crazy. Like 5-yard tiki-taka moves, and Almiron screaming from the ball for Ritchie to go down the line, and Ritchie's going inside instead and misplacing the pass and doing everything like that. He's not a left back. Stop playing him left back. This is the biggest annoyance out of a Newcastle United thing. We've got 2 left backs. One was on the pitch, and we're playing Matt Ritchie left wing back. Paul Dummett played centre back, got rinsed by Lacazette every single minute of the game.
Lacazette made him go grey. Was that stressed out?
Yeah. Silver fox. But it was so frustrating. It was just we'd played so well the last couple of weeks, and then it was just back to square one. We're not good in London. We're not good in London. We had the exact same against West Ham
on Monday night either.
No, we're not good on Monday night. Do you know when was the last time we won on Monday night?
I can't remember. You told me that.
Burnley, and that broke a record of losing 11 Monday night games in a row. We are terrible on a Monday night.
10 years ago. When was that?
No, that was this season.
This season?
Yeah, we beat Burnley 1-0 with a last minute goal, and that was on Monday Night Football.
And what a terrible game to put on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. Even on the actual commentary, and I'll get onto the games more in a minute. I'm just going to rant more about Monday Night Football for a minute there. Sorry, apologies. On the Monday Night Football thing, did you watch the preview?
No.
You didn't watch the game?
No.
The preview of the game, they spent 35 minutes talking about Arsenal and how Unai Emery has done better for them and what they need to do, and Aaron Ramsey leaving. Do you know what they spent the 5 minutes on Newcastle on?
Rafa Benitez.
How Rafa Benitez is being consistent because Newcastle United stats were exactly the same. We mentioned this 4 weeks ago. We mentioned it a month ago. Why are you mentioning it now that Newcastle United stats are the same?
Is it still the same?
Yeah. Oh, not now, because obviously we lost, but it's not anymore, but it was then.
Right.
It was still exactly the same. And I was like, what's the point? Why do we care? Everybody mentioned this 4 weeks ago, and now you're mentioning it now like no one knows. And Jamie Carragher was creaming all over Alexander Lacazette after the game. I was infuriated.
What was he saying?
He was just like, he was such a fox tonight. He was so brilliant. Everything he did was amazing. And Alan Smith, being Alan Smith because he's an ex-Arsenal player, was all over him. Oh, God. Newcastle, we're safe. We're not going down. Arsenal, they're now into third above Spurs. Jammy. But yeah, we are, as Newcastle, Rafa's not going to stay, he's going to leave. We've got Palace next week at St James's. We're going to beat them because they're rubbish. And we've got Southampton, Brighton and Fulham left in the season that are all down lower side. So
you've got to beat those.
We're safe.
You'll get 12 points out of that.
Yeah, right. Out of our last games, we've got Palace, Leicester, Southampton, Brighton, Liverpool and Fulham. Only the Fulham, Leicester and Brighton games are away.
You've got to get a fair few points there.
We're staying up.
Now? Are you 15?
Yeah.
You've got to finish 12th or 11th for that sort of running.
14th, and we're 3 points off 12th.
Yeah. Well, 10th to 12th you want to finish then, really, with that running.
12th. I'll take 12th any minute of the day. Rafa Benitez, as Adam said after the game, he said that to compete in this league you need a 40, 50, 60 million pound front three. We don't have that. Our front three consists of £9 million.
Exactly.
Well, now it consists of £29 million, but you need another 40, 50 million pound player is what Rafa was saying there, and we're not going to get that.
You need a striker. You need a 40 million striker that's going to get you 20 goals a season.
Yeah, we're never going to get that.
Spend that much money, are you?
We're never going to get that.
Actually, definitely isn't.
He wants to invest young and then sell the players on for future money. It's exactly the same model that Leon have, but we'll get into that later. We'll move on. Palace Huddersfield. Huddersfield are terrible. They were pathetic in this game. Palace weren't very much better either. But hey, Milivojevic scores again from the penalty spot, fellas.
He's got a fair few goals this season.
He's very, very good. He's in my dream team as well. He's doing me bits because of the amount of set pieces he scores.
Yeah, and Van Aanholt sending another team down.
Yep.
As he did Stoke last season.
Yep. Didn't he? He was also on the Crystal Palace team when he made Liverpool lose the title as well, wasn't he? Yes.
Yeah,
he
I
was.
think so.
Van Aanholt, the absolute veteran. Did he actually send Stoke down last season?
He sent Stoke down, yeah.
It's been 3 years now. This season, last season before, Palace have sent teams down and he scored the final goal every
Sunderland
time.
was the previous one.
Yeah.
Probably.
He scored the final goal each time. Which I think is that's a mental stat.
I mean, he did an apology, didn't he? After
sending another team down.
After the Stoke one. So I don't know if he's done one for the Huddersfield.
He wouldn't have done. He didn't really.
I don't think he has because he didn't score because obviously they were winning when he scored the last goal. Whereas the Stoke one, they were drawing. So yeah.
And only one team have been relegated sooner than Huddersfield in the Premier League, and who was that?
That was tied, wasn't it?
No, they got
the same weekend.
No, they got relegated. Well, they got relegated the day after, which is quite annoying.
So yeah, only Derby County who were relegated on March the 29th, whereas Huddersfield were relegated on March the 30th.
At least we're not the only team to get relegated in March now.
Yeah. So,
that's the positive I'm taking.
Ipswich were also relegated in 94-95 of Division 1. They were also relegated from the top division with 6 games left. But it was later on when it was Division 1. So yeah, Derby, you're still the worst team ever in the Premier League.
I like how Huddersfield decided to get that win against Wolves, and now they just thought, we'll pack it in now and just finish the season. Brilliant.
Poor Wolves. Yeah, Palace were never really going to go down, were they?
Nah.
I think they have too much quality, don't they?
They've always been like a solid. It's
been a
side.
A much weaker Premier League than the season before. Yeah, teams in it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if they'd had this problem last season, they might have gone down. They might have done, but I don't know. They rely too much on Zaha for me. They need another big time striker. Well, obviously they have one in Michy Batshuayi,
but it's if they can keep him.
Yeah, it's if they can keep him and if he can actually score. Zaha played as well. That's the thing. Like, they played a very attacking team, and they couldn't really break down this Huddersfield side. So I don't know. Palace are a weird team. They're never really going to push up, and they're never really going to do anything else, are they?
No.
Maybe if they keep Batshuayi, they might be able to push up for the top six and maybe progress on.
Unless they invest heavily on a couple of players, they're not going to move anywhere.
Well, Batshuayi would be one of the heavy investments.
Yeah, they've probably got another one, and probably a midfielder.
Speaking of the relegation, big win for the relegation. Burnley beating Wolves. Wolves have this thing about them where they can just not do things for like 3 weeks and then still be okay. They had one shot on target the entire game. Are Burnley back?
No, I think the Wolves were just very poor.
Okay.
Burnley, they made it so easy for Burnley to win this game.
Okay.
So they're safe. I think Burnley are safe now. Like we say, the bottom three are probably gone.
Yeah.
And that's cemented it.
Yeah, Connor Cody's third own goal
of the season.
Do you reckon he scored more on goals than he scored goals?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Don't know if he scored this year.
That's a poor stat.
Yeah. The player to score the most own goals ever in the history of the Premier League. Does anyone know? And it's not who you think it is.
I'm thinking of a player who used to play for Fulham.
I'm not thinking of anyone.
Who is it,
I can't think of.
It's Phil Jagielka.
Is it Jagielka?
Yeah. Everyone thinks of Jamie Carragher when they say this, but it's not. It's Phil Jagielka.
Has he got four goals in the season?
In the Premier League season or in the Premier League ever?
In the Premier League ever.
How many has he got?
He's got like 9 or something like that. Which is ridiculous. How can you score 9 own goals? How can you score 9 own goals in your career? That's mad.
That is pretty mad, to be fair.
Stupid, man. Anyway, that's Phil Jagielka talk. Less of that. Burnley, okay, they're safe now. What's next for Wolves? I don't know. They look like they're in. See, that 7th place we're going to talk about later on, and it's tight as anything. It really is. It's tight.
Leicester won. Obviously, we're going to go to Leicester in a minute. But they've won their last 3 now, which is. They're really in for a shout now with that European spot,
which is what we expected with the Brendan Rodgers bounce. So let's talk about Leicester. Wes Morgan comes back from his sending off, scores, and then Jamie Vardy scores
again,
as you would expect. This is the first time Leicester have won 3 consecutive Premier League games since December 2017, which was after their title-winning season, and. Burnley haven't won an away game in
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth haven't won an away game in 6 league games now.
Oh, so they're back on that run, are they?
Yeah, they're back on that run now. And it's the longest they've ever gone without winning away or getting anything away, which is terrible. Bournemouth are a weird side as well, but yeah, good win for Leicester. They dominated the game. As they do at home with their possession style football, and Yuri Tillemans is really looking very good.
Really good. He's looking like the player everyone thought he was going to turn out to be. Mm-hmm. And they look like they're going to sign him now as well.
We'll talk about that later on because I don't think so.
You don't think?
Yeah, I'll talk about that in our gossip column later on, which is coming up very shortly after we discuss West Ham Everton. West Ham are another team. They just. I don't know what they're doing. I don't get them at all. I don't understand them or anything like that. Their home form is brilliant. They've won 3 on the bounce at home, and now you have 3 shots altogether in an entire game.
It's just so inconsistent. There's so many teams in the Premier League that
are really inconsistent. Yeah.
And West Ham are definitely one of them. It's just worrying. They're just one of those in between teams, not going to challenge at the top and not going to go down. Yeah, in my opinion. I just don't understand it. They played a really good team. There was no Felipe Anderson, which could have been the difference maybe, but they had Lanzini, they had Snodgrass, they had Lucas Perez, they had Arnautovic, they had Declan Rice, blah 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 blah, and they just weren't good enough. Fair play to Everton for taking advantage and doing well. They had a good game. Bernard is a real player for them. That little Brazilian maestro is a really good player for them. So yeah, Everton are right back in there for the Everton Cup, as we call it. They always finish 7th, bless them. Silly Everton. They're right back in there for that as well. They're with Watford, and you can arguably say West Ham as well, because the 7th place from 44th to 11th is
So you've got 44 points, 43 points, 43 points, and 42 points.
It's very close.
It's so close. It's ridiculously close. And then in irrelevancy, yay, Brighton fans, you were irrelevant. You lost 1-0 to a Southampton team that were poor, and
the game was poor.
The game was terrible. It was terrible.
3 shots on target.
The entire game.
Whole game.
The entire game. And Southampton are, I don't know. Southampton are not very good. But nor were Brighton at home, apparently. Over their last 5 Premier League home games, they have only won 1.
That's poor. And who was that against? Huddersfield?
Huh. That was against Newcastle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's why we're terrible in every sense. We go down south and we're just terrible. So, yeah. Southampton are very, very... They're okay. They're not going to go down. They do have the easiest run out of all the teams that are maybe going down in the league. They've still got to play everyone around them and do all that lot. So, yeah, Southampton are safe. I think the bottom 3 is the same. The bottom 3. You all agree, fellas? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Parker, let's have a quick run round of the league. Parker should be given the Fulham job full time, yes or no?
Yes.
Yep, 100%. We all agree. VAR is still a good thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
We all agree on that. Do Huddersfield come back after they go down? No.
No chance.
I don't think so either. I think they'll stay. And who finally finishes 7th? I think it's Wolves.
Leicester.
Ooh. Oh, that guy who are both of us. Oh, you feel proud now, don't you? I like that pick. We'll have a look at the fixtures for... Oh, God. There's midweek games this week and obviously the weekend games because next weekend is FA Cup week. So we will have a look at all of that. Obviously the FA Cup, we know who is in there. We've got... What? Is it Watford Wolves? It's Watford Wolves, Man City, Swansea.
Brighton.
That's one.
Brighton, yeah.
It's testing you. Yeah,
so they're going to show replays of VAR incidents in those semi-finals now as well.
Well, it's at Wembley, so if they didn't, then it'd be pathetic.
No, because normally they don't do it, do they?
Yeah, they do. They put it on the big screen.
They put it on the big screen. Now they don't. Before, fans have been dead confused at like what's happening because they don't show you. But now,
from now on, they're
going to show it on the big screen, the definite incident of what happened.
Awesome. That's brilliant. Yeah, that'll be really interesting. So, because obviously teams are playing in the FA Cup this weekend, there are midweek games. So, Wolves have Man United at the Molineux, which is big game. That's tonight. Watford have Fulham. That's also tonight. So, if obviously Fulham drop points there, they're down. Chelsea have Brighton tomorrow. Tottenham have Palace tomorrow. Man City have Cardiff tomorrow. And obviously, if Cardiff got anything from that, even if Fulham win against Watford, and Cardiff get a result out of Man City, they're relegated anyway. So it's out of their hands, in their hands a bit, if that makes sense. Cardiff, Man City obviously Man City. That's Man City's game in hand. No, it's not, because Liverpool also play. Liverpool have Southampton at Southampton, which they might slip up there. I can see that.
But that's Friday night, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Friday night. I can see that though.
So that's probably I can see a draw there, if I'm honest.
I could see Liverpool slipping up. Then we have Huddersfield, Leicester away. Leicester, I don't know. Do they give them a guard of honour for getting relegated, or do they just?
No.
Is that? I just made that up.
You've made that up.
I've just made that up.
Oh God! Why would you get a guard of honour? Oh yeah, there you go. Well done for getting relegated.
We have Palace on Saturday at 3:00, and that's Newcastle. That is Bournemouth, Burnley, big game. Everton, Arsenal, big game. And a all-London tie of Chelsea West Ham at Stamford Bridge, and then obviously the FA Cup games as well. So yeah, some big games in the league this week. The Everton Arsenal game is on Sunday. So is the there is only one game on Sunday this week because there's the other FA Cup game.
Who's the game on Sunday?
The Man City game's the Sunday game.
Okay.
The Wolves Watford game is the Saturday night game.
Oh, okay.
That'll be a late Saturday game. So BT will have that, and then BBC will have the Sunday afternoon one.
Okay.
With Manchester City, because it's the BBC and they don't want a really poor game. Which the Watford Wolves game won't be a poor game. I think it'll be the better one.
I think that'll be the better game. Yeah,
I think that'll be the better one over the weekend. Right, Tom, you wanted to discuss some potential gossip that's happening in the league.
Yeah.
And doing all that lot. What have you got?
So Tottenham are looking to smash their transfer record to get Michael Keane, £50 million.
What's their transfer record? 50 million for Michael Keane.
Yeah, that would be their. Could be their transfer record. It says
Michael Keane. No, I'm trying to do a Michael Keane impression, but I couldn't do it. But yeah, Michael Keane.
He's only 26. Arsenal want him as well.
Yeah, well, I want anyone
Do you
that
think
they
he'd
can
be
get.
a good signing for
No.
Tottenham?
Stay at Everton.
Signing?
Stay at
No,
Everton.
but for Tottenham.
Yeah, it'd be a good signing for Tottenham if they got rid of Toby Alderweireld.
Fair enough. Tottenham, Man United, Man City and Chelsea all want Douglas Costa from Juventus.
I can see that. Yeah, he's been pushed out the door since Ronaldo went to Juve, didn't he?
Yeah, so he's getting very little game time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I can see that one happening.
Arsenal want Ryan Fraser from Bournemouth.
No,
I can't see it happening myself.
they'd have to get rid of Ozil. They'd have to get rid of loads of players for that. No, not happening.
Anything else?
No, not really.
Andy King's going to sign a new deal at Leicester apparently, although he's just got an injury at Derby. He's out for the season.
Was he on loan at you?
He's been on loan at us, but he's going to get a new deal at Leicester by the looks of it.
Yeah, well, this is Brendan Rodgers all over at this, because you heard the story of when he went to Celtic, right? Where like there was a legend at Celtic that was like, "Oh, I don't know whether you were going to keep me on as a bathroom staff, blah 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 blah." And Brendan tapped him on the shoulder and went, "As long as I'm here, you will be here." And he wants to do exactly the same with Andy King. Right, keep a legend at the club. You normally keep your hardcore players happy, don't you?
Yeah.
Like Michael Carrick, what's he done at Man United? He's done absolute brilliant for morale and everything like that. Imagine if Mourinho was in charge and Michael Carrick wasn't there, it'd be more of an absolute storm show than it already was.
And last thing, QPR. Just to do with QPR, they're going to get Tim Sherwood in as manager.
Yeah, obviously we're going on to the Championship now.
Yeah.
Big news that happened over the last couple of days. QPR sacked Steve McLaren because they got beat by Bolton, who haven't trained all week but still managed to beat QPR. And Bolton are absolutely... We've discussed Bolton before on this pod, and we'll discuss them more. They obviously got the running up order to pay off all their debts last week while we were away, and the owner said that is going to be possible, so they will be doing that. The players have not been paid for March's wages yet. And doing that, they did not get February's wages till the third week of March anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've all gone on strike and are not training until there. They are going to play games because otherwise it would suffer the club more than it already is. And you can't forfeit more than 3 league games, otherwise you get kicked out of the league. As everybody knows that. So, yeah.
Well, they're all about getting liquidated before then anyway. Before the weekend.
Okay. Right, there you go then. Which is just sad. It really, really is.
Tomorrow, I think to hit the hearings tomorrow to go into actual administration, and then it will be pretty much immediate liquidation, I believe, just because of all the finances.
So next week on the pod with minus Adam, we probably might discuss the deep history of Bolton and how we will miss them. Although we'll have a Reading fan on the pod, so we probably won't do that either. They won't really care. So yeah, on to Brighton news of the Championship. Leeds beat Millwall and Norwich obviously won as well. So yeah, there we go. Championship's back to normal and everything went okay. Middlesbrough are terrible. We all know this. They can't score.
They won't finish in the playoffs now.
Isn't it? I read a stat earlier. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Middlesbrough have scored less goals than they've conceded this year. They have an actual. I think they have a minus goal difference. Middlesbrough.
Really? I don't think they do. I'm sure they're plus 10.
No. They're plus 8. Sorry,
plus 8.
They're plus 8. But if you, now this is funny. If you, sorry, I'm reading the stat now. If you minus the amount of goals that has been scored by Middlesbrough's defenders this season, there would be a minus 5 goal difference.
Oh wow!
So their strikers and midfielders are not doing things for them.
Score from set pieces.
And
Tony Pulis way.
They haven't won in 6 games. So. There you go.
They're going to finish out. They will not finish in the playoffs.
And if they don't finish in the playoffs, Tony Pulis will get sacked.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. And do you know what? He deserved to. He would.
Yeah.
He would. They were in such a secure place, and now they're not. So yeah, they got beat. Leeds came from behind to win 3-2. Pablo Hernandez coming up with the goods as he always does for Leeds.
Can't believe he didn't get in the team of the year.
He's not been in the
didn't get in the team of the season. for the EFL.
That's voted by Football Managers, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's mad.
And
Although they'll have
double figures for goals and assists, I believe.
Yeah.
They'll probably get in the Championship one, though, won't they? They're doing that at the award ceremony, each one for each league. But the overall EFL was put out the other day.
Mad. West Brom also came from Birmingham had a late resurgence to try and equalise it, but the cocaine addict Jake Livermore, who shouldn't be playing football, scored for them and won. So, yeah, there goes Jake Livermore. Reading beat Preston. Preston's playoff hopes are out of the window, and Reading are now 4 points off the drop zone, which is good for you. Tom, you've been pushing on your seat eagerly. Oh, no, sorry. Before we get to you, Andres Weimann, ex-Aston Villa, scored a hat-trick for Bristol City to beat Sheffield United. Good result for Bristol City.
Yeah, ex-Derby.
Very, very, very good result for Bristol City, that.
It'd be typical of Andy Weimann to keep scoring goals for Bristol City and knock Derby out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
It would just be typical.
I mean, Sheffield United missed a big opportunity there to push up and cement themselves even further, but Bristol have kept on the chase, and obviously they are still 1 point behind you.
And they've got a game in hand,
and
which is tonight, against Middlesbrough.
It is. There you go. Thank you for already doing my job for me. And yeah, now we can talk about the fact that you won 6-1.
Oh, what a weekend! I can't believe we scored 6 goals. Because we come up against teams like this.
Nor can I.
Yeah, we come up against teams like this and we struggle. We either labour to a 1-2-0 win, or we just completely combust and just lose. But we were very good. We were actually, for saying how poor Rotherham were, we were very good as well. Like, we played such an attacking side. Mason Mount back in there, goal and assist.
I think he's your difference.
Well, based on this week, see, when he got injured at the time, when he was playing, we weren't playing particularly well. Like, we just scraped past the likes of Accrington in the cup and stuff like this, and we were not playing well. So it's kind of like you might not be missed. And then over the last 2 months,
He's been
massively missed in the end. After coming back at the weekend, and now
what are you going to do next season when you don't get him?
I think the small hope of if we did go up, I think he'd come back on loan. And apparently there are some clauses to do with Chelsea to do with these loan deals that we might be able to get him for an extra year.
Yeah,
I've seen talks of that.
Chelsea have to activate it first.
Yes.
But we'll discuss this in the second episode of the pod. We'll discuss Mason Mount's future, because I drew Chelsea and the teams to discuss about for future and clubs and everything like that. So we'll discuss that for you.
Yeah, the Lampard,
so pay attention.
Me too with the Lampard effect. If Lampard stays, I think both the Chelsea lads will come back. But I think if he leaves, then they just won't come back. So I just don't think Chelsea will see the point in sending them back here to us. So.
Well, I can't see why I'd leave, but okay, whatever. And Stoke. Adam, Stoke City. You're from Stoke. What's going on?
Well, 1 win in 11 games, I think, says it all, really.
Yeah, but they've drawn the last 4, and they've drawn them all
0-0. I mean, it's a club record for them, the most 0-0s, consecutively. They just, obviously have to Garrett out left. Obviously, what you want to do as a manager coming in, you want to make sure you're tight at the back, don't concede goals, and then look at the other side. They've done that clearly for clean sheets in the row. Just going forward, it's just not been there. I mean, looking at the highlights, Bojan had a great chance, and just hit it wide, and people getting on his back now. That's the thing with Stoke. Their expectations are so high. If one player doesn't put the shift in, they expect they're going to get on the back as quick. I'm surprised not as many Stoke fans want change with manager at the end of the season than it's been on the phone-ins, because he's. It was a one out of the blue when they brought him in, Nathan Jones. Yeah, and he hasn't really performed to the way that I thought he would.
I think he needs the summer. He needs a summer to get a few players in and then get his ideas across a bit more, and then see where they go next year. I think if they're still struggling after 10 games next season, he'll be gone.
Yeah, that's a very big talking point around Stoke fans. Tony Scholes, the chief exec, He looks at players, gets players in. Because obviously, manager goes to them.
Yeah.
This is how it goes at Stoke. Manager goes to them. I want these players. Go out and find them. Or I want an attacking midfielder or something. Go and find them, and then they'll go look. They'll scout, and then they'll bring in recommendations for the manager of who to sign. And clearly the one in the summer
Very
window.
football manager. That sounds very football manager.
Obviously last summer they brought in a Phobie. He hasn't been at it at all.
Not at all.
They looked in the
terrible.
I mean, he had a decent record in the Championship, but then this time
It was really
Hull,
good
was
for
it?
Wolves.
Was it Hull? Wolves. Sorry, apologies.
this season's not done anything. Just the attacking players they brought in just haven't done enough, clearly, and that's where they've got to, that's where they've got to look at in the summer to bring in.
Absolutely. So, talk about the Championship then. We'll have a look at their table. Obviously, Norwich, in my opinion, champions elect. Thank you, Tom, for using that phrase in our notes. And then Leeds, for me, they'll finish top 2. As I said, who was it that said Sheffield United?
I'm still sticking with Sheffield United.
You're still sticking with Sheffield United. Love
I
it.
said Sheffield United, but
You said Sheffield United
I said
as
Leeds
well.
first, then changed my mind, and I've changed my mind back again.
You're sticking with Leeds.
I'm saying Leeds now.
Leeds. I've always said Leeds, so I'm sticking with Leeds. And then obviously the final playoff rounds are West Brom, Aston Villa have resurged up there, and they're above Derby, which makes Tom angry. And then obviously Derby round up the rest of the playoffs. So at the moment, you'd be playing Sheffield United in the playoffs. How does that sound?
I mean, regards to a trip in the playoffs, it's not too bad. It's not too far to travel.
Have they
to.
done the double over you this season?
No, we beat them at home.
Okay.
but-
We beat them 2-1 at home. They beat us 3-1 away, I think it was.
Yeah, so that'd send them through, as it, if
As it would go, yeah. That's
But it's just like, it depends how we go, because if we keep playing the team we put on Saturday, and if we go on a run now, just keep beating.
If you win
teams.
if you win 6-1 or 6-0 every weekend, then
we've got Brentford and Blackburn next, both away. So
Brentford's a tough place to go.
If you win both of those, you're looking pretty.
Yeah, and then we've got Bristol City, Middlesbrough, Forest and Preston still all in the hunt. You can even add Sheffield Wednesday in there if you want. Sheffield Wednesday are down on 11th on 56. Derby are in 6th on 59.
The situation
I love the championship.
The situation with Sheffield Wednesday is just they're so annoyed that they didn't bring in Bruce earlier.
Yeah, 100%.
They should have set the manager
It
ready.
makes me laugh because all those teams you just mentioned, they all win at the same time and they all lose at the same time.
It's absolutely mad. And then down the bottom of the league, Ipswich and Bolton are both down in my opinion. Bolton might not be a club next year, but Ipswich are down as well. They had a little resurgence. Rotherham are down there also. They're on 36 points. Millwall are on 37, and Reading and Wigan are got a little bit of gap there, 4 points clear on 40.
Be between Millwall and Rotherham now.
Yeah, that's what my Reading fan friend. It's hard to say that. I'm trying to say that 5 times fast. Yeah, that's what he seemed to think as well. He also thought they were officially safe. So big games in the Championship this week. There are some big games in the league. Norwich QPR. Norwich will batter them because QPR will have a manager. Hull Reading. Hull are irrelevant, so Reading will win. I think it's away though, so they might have a problem. Notts Forest need to beat Rotherham.
Is that at Forest?
No.
Rotherham?
Yeah.
Both teams need to win.
Yeah.
Come on, Rotherham.
100%.
Rotherham.
Preston Sheffield United's one of the biggest games of the weekend. 100%. Preston Sheffield United's a very big game.
Sheffield United win, hopefully.
Right, it's Sheffield United away. And then we have the Steve Bruce derby of Sheffield Wednesday, Aston Villa.
See, there's a lot of teams up there playing each other.
And then round it off for important games, Bristol City, Wigan, and Birmingham, Leeds. Oh, there's also Bolton, Ipswich to decide who finishes bottom of the league. If you want,
Bolton are on a bit of a resurgence, though, aren't they?
They're not going to be a club next week, though, Tom. So who cares?
I know, so it doesn't really matter. But
Who cares? Who cares? League One. We mentioned Luton earlier. They won again, and they're 12 points clear of third place. Portsmouth, Barnsley are 7 points behind them. So yeah, Luton are promoted. They could be promoted as of next week, couldn't they?
Believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they could be promoted as of next week because they've only got 5 games left.
Yeah.
So they could be promoted as of next week. Portsmouth didn't play because they were in the EFL Trophy against Sunderland, and they won. Up the Pompey! Yes, you Mackhams got sent home for tea, didn't you? You sons of guns. They were proper bigging themselves up all over Twitter. They really were. And then the player that scored the Portsmouth winning penalty, do you know his name? Hawkins, thank you. Hawkins, he has a duplicate gentleman that is also Oliver Hawkins. He has a duplicate fella on Twitter that also is called Oliver Hawkins. And the fella changed his profile picture to Oliver Hawkins and just tweeted, like, as he was Oliver Hawkins. He's not, it's just a regular fan from Newcastle.
Wow.
I was trolling all the Sunderland fans.
Wow.
Absolute trolling them. And then announced it on April Fool's Day that he wasn't actually Oliver Hawkins. It was just some random bloke called Ollie Hawkins. Changed his profile picture back. And it was absolute savage. All the Sunderland fans got proper mugged off over the weekend for it. But yeah, they were unlucky. Aidan McGeady's free kick was very good. One of you watched the game, didn't you?
I watched it.
You enjoy it?
It was a good game, actually. I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I always prefer like those sort of games though, rather than watching like because the Cardiff Chelsea was on. I watched a bit of that. Had a bit of controversy. Without the controversy, that would have been the most boring game to watch ever.
Yeah, that's true. So League One's it's very boring, really. League One. It's the most boring league in out of the 5, I think. I don't really rate League One.
It is now the relegation battle, like between those 10 teams, that seem to just have disappeared.
Well, I mean, yeah, it has because it's now instead of at one point it was 11. It was 11th, wasn't it? It was like 11th
down
all
to
the
23rd.
Yeah, and now it's 15th or 16th. 15th.
You're probably
I'd
looking
say.
at 15th down to 23rd. So it's just going to get less and less teams, and it's just going to be down to like 4 teams.
Yeah, and I think the playoffs are secure as well. I think the playoffs are fine as well.
Yeah, it's between Doncaster and Peterborough, but only because Peterborough have their game in hand.
Yeah,
if they lose their game in hand, then it's over.
Their game in hand's against Fleetwood, though.
Yeah, difficult game.
Yeah.
So
who still have an outside chance of getting the playoffs? Really? No, they don't. No, they don't. Plot Fleetwood. Sunderland, they can get automatic promotion if they win their 3 games in hand. Okay, good Sunderland. Yeah, great. Brilliant.
I don't think they'll do it though.
No,
they'll be in the playoffs.
I don't know. I don't know.
And we could see at the minute another Portsmouth Sunderland final.
Yeah, could do.
Possibly.
Could do.
It's really close between them and Barnsley, Sunderland. I don't know which way to call it.
I don't care. Even if they get promoted, they'll still be in the Championship and we'll be in the Premier League. Mugs. Then they won't come back up either. They won't go straight up either. No. I don't think so. Moving on, League 2. Adam.
Okay.
I'll let you talk about League 2 because you're a League 2 fan, and I don't want to butcher it. So yeah, League 2. How have you been getting on?
I think there's only one place to start.
There is,
which is who, as of today, got EFL Manager of the weekend.
Did he actually?
He did.
That's amazing.
The mastermind behind.
Yes. What's his name?
John Askey.
John Askey's. John Askey's Port Vale revolution has begun. Do you have hot food yet? For those of you who don't know and are listening for the first time, Port Vale's owner stopped and closed all the kitchens as a protest because the fans were protesting against him. Is that correct, Adam?
Was for the first weekend, and then it's been reopened since, but no one's buying it now.
All right, is there a boycott of the kitchen?
Kiosk boycott.
That's brilliant. Oh, Port Vale fans, you're one of my favourites in the league.
Because he's just he declared that the money from the kiosks does not go into the into the club. It goes to him. That's why.
What?
The money from the kiosk doesn't go to the club, it goes to him.
I mean, I heard you, but that's a joke.
That's what happens. Yeah.
How does that even work? Sorry, my voice is really high today. Apologies. How does that even work?
Because he can do what he wants.
Well, he
doesn't care anymore.
Yes.
He's the owner, isn't he?
So obviously, we'll leave the off-field matters for later because it's been a relatively quiet week. I mean, all this stuff going on, it's been relatively quiet. So obviously, we talk about the football. Obviously, Askey, he got the manager of the weekend. We were discussing because he got the mastermind of a 1-0 down in the first 3 minutes, get a player sent off on the 44th minute, and then make a great comeback. About a minute later, after the red card, score a goal, which is a one through ball, and he's one-on-one with the keeper. I mean, Tom saw the goal, he told me, and then a penalty in the 75th minute with Tom Pope finally scoring his 100th goal in a Vale shirt.
It's only taken about 2 months, hasn't it?
Yeah, making him
Ever since we've done this pod, we've discussed Tom Pope being on 99 goals,
and he's been injured for a while,
and now he's finally got his 100. I feel really proud.
I have no idea how it went in either.
No.
With the goalkeeping.
So anyway, he was the third highest scorer now. He's 8 behind Martin Foyle, and then he's not going to get to Wilf Kirkham's 164 goals by the time he's on.
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, it's been nice to talk about a Vale win, because the last time it was the Mansfield game in Yeovil. We didn't have a pod that week, so I haven't been able to talk about it.
Sorry about that.
So anyway,
I decided to go on holiday instead.
We won, so I'd say we're about 3 points, and then that's it. 47 points, we're safe. I'll say we're safe, but not yet. So let's go through everything else. Lincoln didn't do us a favour.
Didn't do anybody a favour.
No, they got 1-0 draw with Macclesfield. It was really poor.
Lincoln have been drawing a lot of games, haven't they?
Recently, yeah. But I think
we've been talking about that since the turn of the year.
Yeah,
how many games that Lincoln are
like they're winning and then they just concede late on, or but they're up. They're
still going up. I mean,
they're
that
up,
far
so.
Because Mansfield, MK Dons, they keep slipping up.
So
whereas Mansfield keep drawing. I'm still unbeaten in 2019.
They are, yeah.
So that's what you got to do.
Mighty Lincoln City.
Mansfield win Exeter.
Yeah.
Really good win for them. Was it 4-1?
4-1 in the end, yeah.
Tyler Walker scoring a great goal. I've seen that. And MK Dons win at Forest Green at the death.
It's just the MK Dons way, isn't it?
The first goal was very similar to when we played Forest Green at home. They play it out from the back, so they've got Gavin Gunn in the captain. He goes to the edge of the box. Keeper plays it short. What happened was MK Dons stood by Gavin Gunn and got the ball off him, squared it, goal. Which is what happened to us, but the keeper blown up for no reason. The referee blown up for no reason.
Sweaty FIFA.
So yeah, that's what happened to them. And then it's just a stupid goal to concede.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeovil changed the manager in the week. Darren Way on his way.
Hey, how many chants were there at Yeovil this weekend that Darren Weir's gone away?
Yeah.
Darren Weir's gone away. Darren Weir's gone away. That's hilarious.
They brought in some guy, I've never heard of him.
Yeah, no one cares. It's Yeovil. They're going down.
It looks like they're going down because they just can't buy a win.
Yeah.
Against us, they're awful.
Can't buy a win.
So that's, yeah.
Buy a win.
13 losses in the last 17 games.
Oh, man.
The other 4 were wins.
And they're now tied on points with Notts County. I'm both on 36 with Macclesfield on 35. So,
are Notts County going to do the Great Escape?
It would be the Great Escape. It'd be better than West Brom's.
Yeah, it would.
They are
in the Premier League.
They're all going to step. They look a lot better.
It's just
now.
what happens on this winded up order on the 10th of April. If they get minus 10 points, it'll kill them. Imagine like this weekend they come out, and then at 10th of April, you're in administration. Like,
minus 10.
12. Yeah.
Bosh.
Talk about a roller coaster.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Bury.
Yep.
I've seen the red card. Obviously, they lost to Swindon. The red card was mindless. There's a tackle gone in, and then he wasn't very happy with the challenge. He hasn't punched him in the face, but his hand has
gone to his face.
Yeah, like a slap punch kind of thing.
As soon as you raise your hand to your face, it's straight out.
It was a red card.
Yeah, straight out.
So we let the team down really.
Straight out. So with you guys staying up, what? Obviously, it's build and protect for next season with the manager that you've got.
Well, he's only here to the end of the season. He has got.
Then you've got to get another manager.
Well, he wants to stay. He wants the job. But obviously, it's the situation. Yeah. If we're in, we haven't got an owner. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to sign.
That's absolutely fine. We will discuss Port Vale at length in our special podcast because Adam has picked Port Vale to pick over our special podcast. Tune in to find out what that's all about. Okay, right, we will go international. And when I say we'll go international, we'll go to Scotland. Scotland. It was an Old Firm derby this week. It was actually important. Celtic won at the depth 2-1. Rangers were down to 10 men for 70 minutes. And who got sent off, might I ask? Yes, you're all right. It was Alfredo Morelos. Yes, the Colombian got sent off yet again for elbowing Scott Brown in the face after Scott Brown said something to him that Morales did not like.
And he kicked him on the back of the leg.
That's the only point of him for Celtic. Wind everyone else up, get them sent off. That's your job, Scott Brown.
Yeah, that's literally his entire point.
He's awful at football.
Yeah, but that was Lee Cattermore's point for... That was Lee Cattermore's job for Sunderland, and it it
and the took in shirt legend as well, Sunderland now. They got 2 of them.
Oh, God. But yeah, Rangers... Stephen Gerrard at the end of the game said that Morales would be fined a week's wages because of his antics. That's the 5th time that he's been sent off.
Yeah.
And he's missed over 300 minutes of football.
Yeah.
Because of his sending off. And that's not for game suspension. That's for time remaining in the game when he's been sent off. He's missed over 300 minutes of football. That's 4 games.
I think he's missed, like 700 minutes
completed altogether throughout the season. Which is just... You can't have that in your star striker. He is their star striker as well. He
gets sent off in the important games as well. He got sent off in the
Hibs game.
Aberdeen. 3 Aberdeen games.
Yeah, 3 Aberdeen games.
The Europa League qualifier.
Yep.
And now the Celtic game.
Well, the Europa League qualifier, there was rumours of racism, so kind of understand that. But you should never be aggressive in that. Kids never do it. We'll go in. Oh, sorry, my microphone's been really pikey today.
Do you think they should sell Morelos, Rangers?
Yes. Cash in, buy another young player that's good.
You go to League One.
Don't care. You get 5 million for him. That's brilliant for Rangers. Be really good for them.
In the money.
They might be able to spare Stephen Gerrard's contract for another year. We'll go to Spain and we'll run through these really quickly. Messi scored a Panenka free kick, but should have been better. Should have been done better. We all had this discussion on Twitter. The 3 of us got rinsed by a Barcelona fan who was like, "No, it's really good. Did you see Messi's the previous week?" Blah 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 blah. But loads of people backed it up, and Adam got the most likes out of all of us on Twitter. He got mad likes for the amount of stuff that he was saying about like the goalkeeper saying it
because it was true. It was
100%. It was awful. I saw it. I was like, "Oh, Messi Panenka free kick. What the hell? What's this? What's this all about?"
Yeah,
and then I was like, "What is going on?"
I tagged both of them in it. And I proper baited them into it. It was funny.
It's like a golf chip you see on the green. That's what it was. It was just slow.
The goalkeeper was just chilling on his other post.
Yeah. Barcelona, obviously, they won 2-0 in the end, and they beat their rivals Espanyol. Iago Aspas scored twice for his boyhood club, Celta Vigo, and they're in with a point of Villarreal from safety. It'd be nice if Celta Vigo get thingy, because if they don't, they'll lose Iago Aspas because he's too good for them.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, that's true. It was party time in Atletico because Party scored an absolute banger. It was a very good goal. If you haven't seen it, that is my goal of the week to go and check out. Also, check out the Messi Panenka free kick because it was funny. Yeah, this is something that really triggers me. Lucas Zidane got his debut for Real Madrid. How old is he? 17?
No, he's older than that. I think he's 19 now. 20, yeah.
19 now. He's not even had a first-team sub-appearance this season for Real Madrid. And obviously, when Zidane comes back, he immediately puts him in the team, and they beat rock bottom Huesca. Is that how you said it?
Huesca.
But sounds like a sauce.
Like you said, he played him because of tiredness. It's like the reason Sarri gave. Because Courtois and Navas both went off international duty.
Rubbish.
But I don't know, have you seen that video of Lucas Zidane where that shot comes in against him and he turns away from the ball? If you've ever seen it, it's awful. It is awful. For a goalkeeper, he just literally turns away.
So yeah, and Valencia got 3 points as they move above Sevilla for the last European spot.
Yeah.
It'd be good if Valencia do that. Nice little rebuild from them since the Gary Neville troubled days.
Troubled days, bloody hell. That was awful.
Apocalypse days.
Apocalypse days, there we go, thank you. Apocalypse days. Move on to our German friends. Dortmund won 2-0 with Paco Alcacer being the late super sub. Yeah, he's an absolute legend.
He's got 2 90-minute goals.
And because of this, Bayern Munich, they drew 1-1 away at Freiburg, who are not a good team. They are very bad. So this means Dortmund go 2 points clear. Now, we've said this millions of times. Dortmund are going to choke. Bayern choked. Bayern Munich did it. Bayern Munich choked. Terrible.
Yeah, but
Bayern-
I still have more, faith in Bayern to not
Munich,
slip.
Yeah, I still think Bayern will win it.
I just thought it was funny that we've been saying that Dortmund are going to choke it, and it was Bayern.
That Bayern would keep Godwin's path of destruction.
Schalke, they got an away win at Hanover to maybe secure safety for them. They need it. They've not had a very good season. And Eintracht Frankfurt are still in the Champions League spots. Very good season for them. They've had a very, very good season. We'll move on to Italy. Moise Kean, he got a winner for Juventus because Ronaldo was too tired. Oh no, he went off injured, sorry. Napoli won 4-1 at Roma. The Claudio Ranieri thing is alive. Roma are still terrible. He'll get sacked. AC Milan lost 1-0 to Sampdoria. Terrible result. Inter Milan also lost 1-0, but they lost to Lazio. So the European spots for Italy has been absolutely blown wide open. It's so close. We'll keep an eye on that. And there's only 6 points that separate fourth from ninth.
Yeah.
Wow. That's mad. So someone could get a Champions League spot and someone could get a Europa League spot.
Well, there's teams like Torino in and around there looking to get a Europa League spot. I don't know the last time they were in Europe. It's been a while.
PSG, they won over Toulouse with Kylian Mbappe being an absolute legend that he is. Leo come from 2-0 down to beat Nantes 3-2. They stay in second, 4 points clear of Lyon. Come on, Lyon. Do better than that. Lyon scripted a 1-0 win away from home with Rennes. It was Nabil Fekir that scored that goal, wasn't it?
No, I can't remember what the lad's name is, but it wasn't Fekir. It was a young lad that scored.
Terrier. He's very, very good.
Yeah, he
very,
is.
very good. Monaco lose at home again because it's Monaco. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's talk some MLS because we've got really interested in MLS over the last couple of weeks because we're in a fantasy football team. I have no idea about any of this because I haven't changed my team in 3 weeks and I still get beat every week. So, Tom, go on. Run us very, very quickly through the MLS, please.
It's been an interesting week. Sporting Kansas scored 7 against Montreal with massive, massive win. It's still early days yet, so there's a lot that can change. Rooney scored a free kick from pretty much the corner flag.
Yeah, it was a really good free kick. But he's done it before. He did it for Man United against Stoke. Man United tweeted it the day after and were like, oh, we hear Rooney scored a good free kick. Oh, remember this one?
You watched that game, didn't you, Adam? The DC game?
I didn't watch the DC game.
I didn't watch it, but I just saw the goal. It was a good
Orlando
game.
were very unlucky not to equalise. It was all DC first half, all Orlando second half. They were really unlucky to not get an equaliser. He deserved it.
Yeah. Atlanta still bottom, 2 points.
Frank de Boer,
Frank de Boer,
he's crap. He's not manager.
He was here with Palace.
That's it's the first bad language term we've had on this podcast, and it was crap. And it's because Frank de Boer, and we can all say it. And I'm sorry, parentally warning advised. Frank de Boer is crap. Why is he still getting managerial jobs?
He was here with Palace, and he was awful here. So. What did they really expect? I still thought with the quality of Atlanta's side, they'd still be picking up wins and picking up points.
Joseph Martinez has been nowhere.
Exactly.
He's been nowhere. He's really missing Miggy. But there we go.
LAFC won 5-0. Carlos Vela's first hat-trick in the MLS.
Good for him.
Sounders drew 0-0 with Whitecaps. I watched a bit of the game. It wasn't the best of games. Not many chances. I can't remember. They have like a cup competition for it. It's called, but it's a bit of a derby. It's nothing massive. Houston won 4-1 away at Colorado, move up to third in the West, and Toronto beat New York, who are also struggling, 4-0.
Who's New York's manager now?
Not sure who it was.
Which one are we talking about?
New York City.
New York City FC.
Is that the one that is still owned by the Man City?
He was Man City assistant manager, yeah.
Right, okay. Right, it was Vieira that was the manager of them, wasn't
Vieira
it?
was, yeah.
Yeah, it was the Vieira one. He's now at Nice there. So, we have a couple more little things there, and that is pretty much that. The MLS is interesting this year because I think that Dallas will go pretty far, actually.
Do you?
I do. I think Dallas will do bits this year. You don't?
No.
You don't? Okay.
I don't.
I don't think they will.
Okay, well, that's just me then. And on that note of just me being foolish and not really knowing a lot about the MLS again and again and again. There's only one thing that this music means, and that means a goodbye. Until next week, or until Thursday when you hear from us again. A goodbye, Mr. Adam Swindles.
Ta-ra.
Goodbye, Mr. Tom Rogers.
Goodbye.
Peace out, everybody. We'll see you soon.